Hi there, YouTube. Today's video I'm showing for you the analyze of Ura Zelda. This is a complete version. Ura Zelda would have worked by plugging an Ocarina of Time into the cartridge slot on the N64 and placing Ura into the 64DD sitting beneath. Adding the expansion would add a little icon to the logo on the title screen. It's my understanding that through the use of cheats and a Game Shark, you can trick your game into thinking one of the saves has Ura Zelda date, but it will be grayed out with a disk tag attached to it. Trying to open the file after once again tricking your game into thinking the disk is inserted into the 64DD crashed the game. Because of the recurring delays in the production of the 64DD, as well as a bet AG Aonuma made with Shigeru Miyamoto where if they could create a game within a year they would not have to Ura Zelda. The expansion was ultimately scrapped for the console, but because the size of the game was beyond the maximum size for the N64 cartridge, it never sought to release its own standalone game like Zelda Gaiden did. It's believed that fans wanted and begged Nintendo for long enough that they eventually released a modified version of Ura Zelda as a bonus for pre-ordering Wind Waker. Master Quest is really more of a sort of spiritual successor because it did not add any of the newer dungeons promised to Ura Zelda, instead only altering versions of the original game's dungeons. Some features. Ura Zelda was going to have new mini-games, side quests, characters, and shuffled around items, unlocked after the Ocarina of Time was beaten. Ura Zelda would still have the same storyline and basic layout of Hyrule as in the Ocarina of Time, but all the dungeons would be remodeled and have new dungeons to explore. The Wind and Ice Temple were probably going to be added based on the speculation created from the Zelda fanatics. The fans inside Shadow Temple and the Forest Temple section of Ganon's castle were assumed to be leftovers from the Wind Temple, and Fato, a blonded-haired Kokiri girl, was believed to be the Wind Sage because a beta screenshot of her is where she is dressed up, and also she is the only Kokiri of her character designs. The ice cabin featured inside the game was believed to be left over from the Ice Temple. Ura Zelda was also rumored to have the Unicorn Fountain, originally planned in the Ocarina of Time, where Link would receive his Tri-Sword Beam attack, in which Link would thrust his sword forward and release an orange beam in the shape of a triangle. For side quests, the darn running man that gamers will never beat because he is always 1 second ahead could finally be beaten because game developers could not complete this quest due to lack of space on the Nintendo 64 cartridges. 2 new tunics, gold and white, would be added, but what power would they give Link is unknown. At last, Miyamoto hinted at gamers being able to create their own masks in the N64DD program called Talent Studio and then implemented them into Ura Zelda. Gold, silver and black tunics. This one is going to hurt some of you, as many fans have used these tunics as the key piece of evidence for the lost Ice and Light temples. There is no extra tunics hidden in OOT's code. There are no text references to the items, no events or text relating to Link getting them, nothing. The only reason you see them now is because one of the first codes we figured out back in 1999 was changing the color value of objects. Black, silver and gold were just the ones first arbitrarily chosen because of fan theories about missing temples. You can actually change the digits of color to anything on the RGB scale and you can easily find screenshots of many colored tunics. If you are having a hard time accepting this, do some searching. You will find in the beta screenshot, interview or early footage showing these tunics and there is no unmodified code referencing them in any version of the game. Unicorn Fountain and Faerie Statue. For some reason I still do not understand, everyone on the internet seems to believe the Unicorn Fountain would have given Link the Blade Beam ability. Maybe it's because there are 3 unicorn heads and the early footage of this attack showed 3 beams coming out of Link's sword. As far as I can tell, that is the only reason. This was never mentioned by any developer. If you judge the unicorn fountain, fairy statue and unused fairy fountain wall textures just based on what the code says, there is no suggestion of any of the fan theories related to them. It appears that these were just designs for the fairy fountains that were never used. My guess, and this is definitely speculation, do not emit this if you quote, is that the fairy fountains were originally going to be different, and each would have featured a statue or fountain. Then, at some point the model for the Great Fairy was created instead, and they made the fountains empty to make room for her character model, also making them all the same textures and design inside. Here is a list of some of the features being implemented in the game. 1. A brand new plot with new dialogue to envelop the player. 2. A new protagonist. 3. A new fairy partner named Race with a new personality. 4. Completely new dungeons. 5. A new overworld. 6. New NPCs, enemies and bosses. 7. New minigames and revamped old ones. 8. Changes to the Ute game engine where appropriate, to add new functionality. 9. Restored beta content. 10. New attacks. 11. New items. 12. New MP3 quality music. 13. Ura only save files and enhanced file select screen. 14. New side quests. 15. Time update system with time-sensitive events. 16. Restored beta animations, new animations. 17. New warp songs to learn. 18. A +B reversed interface, controls. All work posted is considered work in progress and is subject to change for better and more refinement. Below you can check out both of the Ura project's trailers, which represents 1 year's worth of work. The project is currently at 50% completed. As always, U64 wishes them good luck. Thanks for watching the first part. Read the description for more information.